Okay, let's get into fine-tuning our message and fine-tuning that lead generator. I would love to help people, like those of you on this call, like right now. So if any of you are in the middle of creating this for you, let's jump on and let's get it done and created. So you can, all you have to do is go put it into action. All right, you want to start?
Sure.
Okay, shoot. What do we got here?
I'm not exactly sure where to start. So the two lead generators.
Person.
What's that?
Who's your person again?
It's moms that have anxiety.
So moms with anxiety. Kelly was on here. You'd be speaking to Kelly. Is she on here?
I think she's on there.
Yeah, I see her, but she might not be paying attention. Okay, so I'm thinking of Kelly here, who back in the day around probably my age, 30, mid-30s, had such bad anxiety that she couldn't even go to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And when she got into the functional medicine world, she saw that her cortisol sample, so if I had this available on the computer, I would pull it up and show you because it was absolutely crazy. But your cortisol is supposed to go high in the morning and then drop off, right? Mm-hmm. So, and this level was something like 30, if I remember right. Hers was like this. And it wasn't even on the chart. They literally had to do a bar at the top of the chart from her saliva cortisol test. So here's our pain. What's our pain beneath the pain, Laura? What do you see him struggling with?
You're avoiding social events. You want to stay home. You have trouble falling asleep. You're worried about everything. You respond inappropriately to stressful events, stressful people. Maybe they're not even stressful.
Mood swings damaging relationships, particularly with their kids, right?
Yep.
And then a big thing is you're not sleeping well.
And most of them just feel like they're losing their mind.
So it's to losing your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are you thinking for a lead generator?
Gosh, I've tried so many different things. I don't really know what'll work because things haven't worked. So how about that, Kylie?
Okay. What have you done that hasn't worked? Let's start there.
Oh, I've done webinars. I've done quite a few different webinars. I've done live.
How do you feel about the webinars that made it not work?
I just wasn't very good.
I get that a lot about webinars, by the way. People will say, "Well, I tried webinars and it did absolutely nothing." Besides, use a lot of money on ads.
Right. I just never got a lot of people to attend, and then I'm not good at. Talking about the money at the end. Maybe that was an issue there too.
It's an issue for everybody.
Right.
You should have seen me. Can I share a funny story with you?
Sure.
The very first time I ever talked about money with somebody, it literally went like this. I wish I had it recorded because it would be a great audio thing. Look, this is where I was, and now this is where I am. To make it worse, it was with an extended cousin. So family, right? And I just opened up my practice, and Kelly and I were Kelly's been with me since the beginning. And so I told Kelly, I said, Kelly, I don't want to talk about money because I can't. Will you take care of all the finances for clients? Sure. I don't really like talking about it either, but I will do it because she had a little bit more experience with it than I did. So this patient comes in and potential client who happened to be a family member as well. And those are the worst ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have this and the functional medicine was new to her. So I did the whole intake. I did the whole hour-long intake, and then hours and hours spent on between the intake and the report of findings, right? Because that's what we're taught. We're taught to do the initial consultation, get them to the report of findings, maybe make it $149, and then get them into the treatment program and really cross our fingers that they actually get into the treatment program because we've made no money at this point. It's just a nightmare that I wanted out of and wanted to create a different way, but this was it. So we sit down, and I didn't even feel confident being like across the desk from each other. I felt like that was almost too much authoritative. So I sat down on the chair next to her, and I walked through this like 7-page report of findings that I had created. I kid you not. I should find them if I can. It was like, okay, this symptom is being caused by this, which is leading into this. And it was literally like here's what's causing it and why I think it's causing it. Patients don't give a crap about that. But we think that that's what sells. It's not. So then I get to the money part, and I'm like, now, this is literally how I said it. Now, the doctor down the street, he's doing these packages for like $3,000. I think we can do it for $2,500, and here's why. Now, the lab test is going to be different, and Kelly's going to talk to you about that. And so we go down and we talk, and so she went over to Kelly, found out that the oat organic acid test was like $500, and I got a phone call that said, no, we're not interested. And it made like every other family event very awkward. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait, it's like what we were taught. And then we wonder, why are our lead generators not working? It's really because we got to have all these systems, all these proponents into play. And if we can't talk about money and ask for money, and most importantly, like receive money, then it's ugly. Second story with me and money. This will make you feel even better. I did a program one time early on, 6-month program that, quote, included all supplements.
Don't do that.
Do that. Learn the hard way. This patient, I mean, bless her heart. So I was a muscle tester. Wayne, I muscle test too. And I was trained in applied kinesiology, AK. I did the entire program in chiropractic school. So this particular patient was very, very, she wanted AK, and she wanted AK like for real AK, because her dad knew, I can't remember the guy's name, the guy who created AK. So she's very familiar with it. So she comes into my office, I'm doing all the AK things, I'm muscle testing, blah, blah, blah. And then, she wants supplements for her, she wants supplements for her kids. And it was like literally like a $350 a month program. Like I was going to go broke. I was going to be in the hole if I kept doing this. And she walked out with, oh, Goodheart. Yep, that's his name. Walked out with $200 of supplements because, that's what I said. Supplements were all included. And that was the first time that I realized what I'm doing is going to make me bankrupt pretty quickly. So I got on the phone and I called a colleague who I'd met from a conference a couple months ago. And the funny thing is that one person I met at the conference, his name is Mike Grace. And he's now on my team. So it's funny how it's all come full circle. But he's seen me from the very beginning, like, I don't know what I'm doing, to I'm pretty confident now. So just so you know, it's a work in progress. And does that help? Make you feel better?
Yeah.
That's why I think webinars fail, honestly. Which is why yesterday when I was like, well, we could get into webinars and live workshops. But the real thing is you got to have confidence in the program you're selling and the number you state it with. Okay, let's get back into it. You guys are getting all my secrets. Don't share my fails. Okay, I'll share them. It will come on the podcast. I'm short at some point. All right, lack of attendance with webinars. That's the other thing too is how are you trying to get people to that webinar?
So I did run some Facebook ads. I created a live event, on Facebook, invited my whole entire list to it, sent out emails. Yeah.
And you're like, all of that energy goes down the drain.
There's 3 people that signed up and 1 person would attend.
Yeah. And you went live with these?
I went live with them. Yeah.
Like on a Zoom call?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, in our next 90 days together, we're going to restructure those and
Great.
go live with them, and I'll teach you how to sell.
Okay.
That'll be huge. Because then you fill your group program. So imagine this. You've got, say we run, let's just say we run $1,000 of Facebook ads to our registration platform for our, we're going to call it live workshop. I'm not going to call it webinar. Run into our live workshop. You host the live workshop. Out of $1,000, you get 200 people who register. So now you have 200 new leads in your business. You get, let's say, 20 of them show up live. And then you blast it out to the replay. What I've seen is you should get 50% watching the replay. So now you're at 100 into your group program that costs, say, $3,500. You get 15 people into that group program. Do the math here. 15 times 3,500 equals $52,500. How many one-on-ones would you have to do to make that money?
I'd have to work like half the year.
I don't know what business coach is telling you this, but they don't know their numbers.
I know. That's why I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And all
And I
from
do have a
spending
program that's
$1,000 on Facebook
3,500.
ads.
Do that all day long. I just need to know how to do it correctly.
I know.
Mhm.
Don't worry, I've tried all the wrong things. I've done webinars too. I did 6 webinars. Here's my beginning webinar story. I did 6 webinars, which is a problem in and of itself because now people have to decide, which is why I say the one thing. Like pick that one thing, because if you make them decide, they just won't, and you will get no's. So I was like, I want to do the webinar thing. This is in 2020, like maybe even 2019, very end of it. Because then, March happened in 2020, and it's always like life is referred to as post and pre, right? So I even went to the point where I hired a videographer because I was like, okay, well, if I want to get people into my automated courses, I actually have to get them to start the webinar and then finish the webinar, right? So I hired the videographer to make it look good. So I was like standing there, and then he had the PowerPoint off to the side. So it looked pretty cool. Hired somebody to write the copy for the sales page, hired somebody to help me with the pitch, or I don't want to say the pitch, but the invitation to the program afterwards, right? And it was all scripted. The whole thing was scripted. I probably spent $50,000 easy on all of that. I sold a matter of like 4 programs, 4 automated courses. That was it. And they were like for $997. So I was like, well, that was a bust. I learned all the ways not to do it. And so now I just, you learn the ways, you tweak them, and then you get the ones better. So that's my webinar story, which is why I didn't jump into them much yesterday, because they can be very good. Like you're going to see people tout, like I've made $10 million from my webinar. Great. I'm glad it worked for you, but hasn't worked for very many other people. So then let's create, instead of webinars, instead of workshops, let's create you something where it builds out your email list. And then you can use that email list for anything you promote, like any of your group programs or anything else. What resonates with you more? Would you resonate with a quiz, or would you resonate with like a checklist? We could do both even.
I don't know if either one would be fine.
All right, Nicole, here we go. Let's create this. Let's start with a quiz. We're going to target the 5 questions to know if your anxiety is, I don't want to say destroying, because that's kind of too harsh of a word, but hindering.
Controlling your day.
There's a good.
Yeah, I want to do your relationship with your kids.
Okay.
Because I think as a mom, I would do anything for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if I see it from that perspective, it's like, wait, I'm going to go spend $3,500 on this group program. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for my relationship with my kids. And that, from that perspective, a mom who's going to put herself last all the time might actually put herself first this time.
Hmm.
Okay, so then you'd have question number 1. The wired but tired question, right?
Right.
What are some other questions you would ask?
How many hours, or do you sleep more than 5 hours a night? Or are you getting less than 7 hours of sleep?
Okay, keep going.
Do you feel overwhelmed all day long?
Okay.
Do you crave food, caffeine, or other substances to relieve stress?
I like that one. Okay.
Um,
Nicole, you got an idea for a 5th question?
Fly
Oh,
off the handle easy.
What was that?
Said fly off the handle easy.
What does that mean?
do you fly off the handle easy? He said. Are you irritable?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
I was going to say, do your kids think of you as a monster some days?
Are you a monster mom some days?
Are you a monster mom? Yeah. Same thing, just different wording. Whoever blurted that one out.
Okay. So then picture this one, Laura. So you
Okay.
create this quiz. There's a bunch of different technology platforms out there, but just we'll find the right one and then make sure we plug it in so that it's all automated. Say you run this at $10 a day in Facebook ads,
Okay.
and it starts to accumulate. If we were to say a lead on a Facebook ad is around $4 right now. So let's say you're getting, make our math easy, two leads a day. So now you're looking at every single month, you're gathering up 60 potential clients into your database.
Mm-hmm.
And that then converts to whether it converts to programs now or whether you're building out 60 times 6 would be 3,600. So now you got 3,600 people you're talking to in 6 months. I'm doing the math right there. 2 times 60 times 30. So that would be 360. And then over 6 months would be, so 360 times 6. 360 times 6. Just over 2,100 people. You can't serve 2,100 people one-on-ones,
No.
but you can with a group program.
Yes.
And say 100 people join. Now you're looking at $350,000.
Mm-hmm.
You see where even like the smallest amount comes into play, even with the Facebook ads? Like, that's why I wished I felt safer running the ad spend, but I knew that in order for the ad spend to be successful, I needed to make sure I had all the pieces in place in the back end for it to
Right.
be successful. And that's something where, think about the mom, she's laying there on the couch. She finally got the kids to sleep at night, AKA me. And I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see this like 5 questions to know if your anxiety is hindering your relationship with your kids. Click. Answer the 5 questions. If you said yes 3 or more times, I would highly recommend that you come join this. And maybe you make an automated course where it's like 30 days, or what you could do is now you take your webinar and you're like, hey, I've got a 30-minute training on 5 tools that you can utilize every single day to lower your anxiety at night. 5 things that you can do every single day. You don't even have to think about it. It takes no time. Maybe the first one is after you send the kids off to school, it's your job to sit and just breathe for 5 minutes. That's it. And then from there, then it's like, hey, I have a group program. You want to do more and add supplements and all the things? Like, bam.
Bam. Okay. So you're saying to go to like that 5-tool webinar live workshop, and then from there go into the $3,500 program.
Good. That's one avenue. But when you enter the virtual space, that's the beauty of it. There's so many different things. And maybe you run a group program, you're like, I don't want to do that again. I want to do this instead. So then you create something new.
Okay.
All right, there's a mom with anxiety. Question the lead magnet. So we did 5 questions to know if your anxiety is hindering your relationship with your kids. So that's the pain beneath the pain. Here's the pain. Let's make it simple. Let's make it easy. And then figure out, of course, your call to action at the end. What do you want them to do next? Maybe it's just go listen to your podcast. I don't know. Okay.
Okay. What are they going to get out of that?
What do you mean?
Listening to the podcast, and then how do you get them out of listening to your podcast into something else?
You listen to my podcast?
Yeah, I've listened to all of them.
That's how
You do talk about your program at the end, yes, or through the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you do it. But the important thing is like it's a multiple touches. You've got them you've got your email now. You've got them in the podcast. Like it's just multiple touches.
Okay.
All right. Anxiety for mamas.
Thank
Laura,
you.
we're going to create your group program and we're going to create your DIY program. And you're never going to do a one-on-one patient again.
Amen.
And tell your husband that you better start planning for taxes, because when you start making more money, you have to plan for taxes. Who else wants to take a turn?
I'll go.
All right, Wayne. This is Wayne, right?
Yes.
Okay. What do we want to do?
Well, so when I was trained that my target market are females that are 30 to 50 that have at least one child and have their own source of income. That's kind of was our farm group they taught us. And that's through Hewlin's. So I kind of practiced that. But what I see in the office mostly is most people that come in either have a problem with diabetes or their pancreas, or my number one organ that I normally see are adrenal glands. And that's where, because so for our homework, that's what I wrote up yesterday. And I posted that. It was pretty similar to, I guess, to what we were just talking about. So I'm kind of, I don't know where to go with it from there, because again, I'm used to one-on-one. I see 100,
That's why
150 patients
I call
a week.
it
I'm
an
not
epidemic.
starving, but I want a different avenue because I'm getting older now and I'm getting tired of, it's kind of like I'm trapped in the office.
So pulling up what you posted here. Okay. Are you losing interaction with your family? You just don't feel right. I get it. I was there myself, but now I'm not. But that all changed once I reviewed my blood work in a different way. I can do the same for you. Okay, so let's figure out who your person is. Do you want to stay in the office? Let me ask you that first.
I would say more part-time.
Okay. How many days are you there right now? A week?
Let me see. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, half a day, Saturday.
Okay, so if we were to cut back the office days to 2 days a week, would that be something you'd be interested in?
Sure.
Okay. So now we're going to build out your virtual platform. On that virtual platform, do you want to see the same person, or do you want to target diabetes?
Well, actually, I'm just I've always tried to help as many people as I possibly can, and I guess I'm restricted because I'm one-on-one. So I mean, if you have diabetes, I'm fine, and I'll do my best to try to help you. If you have adrenal fatigue, if you have thyroid issues, I mean, this is all the stuff I see. So I don't have a
Yeah.
particular grouping.
Well, here's the thing: when you get to the virtual platform,
You have to
you want to
talk.
have the one thing,
Right. Okay.
right?
Right.
So even though you see the person with diabetes, they're still going to have adrenal problems. They're still going to have thyroid problems,
Okay.
Mhm.
True.
right?
Right. It's all part of the same system. Absolutely.
Uh-huh. And so when you just think about the one thing, like even though we might be targeting anxiety, like the anxiety is the target, but they're going to come with other problems. And that's
Okay.
where I think a lot of us in our space, we get hung up because it's like, well, I see people with chronic inflammation and pain and diabetes, and it's all the same person. Yes. But when it comes to marketing and to speaking to the right person in the right way, we just have to pick the one thing and let them come with their host of problems because they're going to come with their host of problems. So
Okay.
I would say diabetes. And
All
since
right. I
Nicole
agree.
is an expert in diabetes, Nicole, what would you do with this one? What lead generator would you like to create?
All right. Well, I just put some stats in there for you, Wayne. So 1 in 10 Americans have diabetes and 1 in 3 are pre-diabetic.
At least.
And
Agreed.
about 8 out of 10 of those that are pre-diabetic don't even know it.
Right. All right. That's
So
where the
those are
blood work comes in.
So that is it's a great place for you to start. So would you want to do, I was going to look and see what you put in Facebook. Would you want to do a quiz? Would you want to do a checklist? What are you thinking of doing? You know, a webinar, where would you like to start?
Oh, I feel
Let's-
more comfortable, I think, with quizzes.
Okay. Kylie, do you want to pull up your whiteboard and do a quiz? Let's put a quiz together for him.
Diabetes. Okay, so diabetes is our pain. What's our pain beneath the pain?
Okay, so I would say there, I feel tired all the time, and I can't I can't spend time with my family. I'm tired all the time, and if I do spend time with them, it's like I burn out fast. I got to rest.
Okay, so the energy to spend the time with your family.
Yes.
Oh, what if we could take that one step deeper?
Let's see. Somebody wrote fear of losing limbs.
I think of like, hey, we got July 4th coming up.
Yeah.
We got all the summer activities coming up. So, hey, summer's around the corner. Are you worried that you're not going to be able to, you're going to miss out on those activities with your family and your grandkids because of the diabetes that plagues you? In our, like, grab my quiz because we'll find out what's hidden underneath the surface causing your diabetes or something like that. But the pain beneath the pain could be.
John just wrote a thing that is like, let's tap into that a little bit, John. I see. Do you feel like you're living half a life?
Okay.
So
Give me more descriptions. I like that idea.
I like
Describe
that
a little bit more.
premise.
Is diabetes stealing half your life?
Yes. Is diabetes stealing half your life?
I like that. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm taking care of a woman right now that has diabetes, and I can't get her to walk around the block. She says she can't do it.
How old is she?
60.
Okay, so we're going to target the 50-year-olds and the 60-year-olds in this.
Mhm.
And would you say that she's pretty much the patient that you're going to see, like, from an umbrella standpoint? Overall, on average, is she going
On
to
the
be your
average,
main?
I would say between 40 and 50 for the most part, and I see some in their 60s. Because I'm seeing more and more people that are diabetic that are a lot younger now. I mean, I think it's pretty amazing. that the numbers keep dropping lower and lower. But I guess that's part of the problem.
I know, and they've even altered the A1C too. Like, oh, it's okay to have an A1C above 6.8 now.
Wow. Yeah.
Except
Right.
I don't
take
know if
this
that's
drug,
true.
it's
Just
gonna drop it below 7. What
No,
third?
I had somebody the other day who was at 6.4 and her doctor told her that was fine.
Of course, because he's gonna make money off that. Of course.
Yeah. Yep. So you are 200% there, Kylie. All right. So what are 5 questions that we can ask about this, Wayne? What are 5 questions you would ask in a quiz?
Well, all right. The stuff I asked her. Do you crave sugar?
Okay.
All right. So after you eat, do you feel unsatisfied or unfull? Do your feet hurt?
ooh,
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Are you gaining weight?
Can you be a little more specific on that one?
Okay, let's see.
Are you having a
feel
hard
like
time
this one
losing
is-
weight?
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Sure.
Yeah. Do you have a hard time losing weight because of that insulin? You know, it's the insulin resistance.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And Juliana, actually, I know you might have another one. Somebody had just put in the thing. Do you have mood swings in between meals?
I was just gonna say, all right, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
How does that feel to you, seeing that quiz up there?
I like that.
Okay.
So technically, who our target audience really is with this quiz are the pre-diabetics who don't even know it.
Okay.
Yep.
That's who our real audience is, because we're asking them, do they crave sugar? This is somebody who doesn't have the diabetic diagnosis, because at that point they'll know. Now, is it going to rule that diabetic person out? No, they're gonna take the quiz as still.
Okay.
So you take the quiz, and now you've got their email. Now you're building out your clientele on your virtual platform. Now it's just a matter of how do you want to help them? There's a variety of ways.
Well, I have all my patients log their diets. Each time they come in, I go over the diet with them. So it would be lifestyle changes. I try to get them to do, I'll say, like any form of exercise. If it's walking, if it's a brisk walk, ride a bicycle. I don't tell them to go out and lift weights, because that's way out for them. I try to get them to do some mild exercise, because it's my understanding that helps to drop down, I'll say, the blood sugar and the fasting insulin.
So Wayne, what if you were to take what you do with every single person in your office and you turn it into a group program?
Yep. Turn it into a group.
That's why I'm here,
hey,
guys.
we're doing a 30-day diabetic walk challenge.
Okay.
That's just one idea. There's a whole lot of things out there you could do. So just think about, what do you do with every single patient?
Mm-hmm.
How can you put that inside a group concept?
Right. Hey, Wayne, I had a patient that literally, she felt like she could hardly get from her chair to the bathroom. And we worked on that. And then I had her just moving her ankles. And then we got her to walk to her mailbox. And now she literally walks 2 miles every day.
Right.
So we just got
to every day. That's what I try to get them up to.
Yeah, we just try to get them moving and walking. And I know you know that. So that's something you could easily do in a group program.
Okay.
In a 30-day group program. You could lead this easily into that.
Okay.
I'm so glad you guys are all fans of like getting out of the one-on-one. Welcome to my world.
I can also help you I can also help your clients with food, Wayne. We can talk.
Yes, Nicole's got a platform too.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's why I'm here, because I've been practicing 34 years and I'm not dissatisfied. I enjoy what I do. I've helped thousands of people over the years, but the thing is, I want a bigger outreach. and I can't do it one-on-one. I could hire an associate. I tried that, and those don't go as smooth as people talk about them. At least that's been my reality. So, I want to do something that, because I'm constantly training. I mean, I'm 67 years old and I'm still doing classes, and I don't have a problem with that. But I hear people, complain that they got to train. Well, I want to train so I can help more people. So that's why I'm here. Because really, Doc, I mean, for the $50 I paid you for this program, this is the best marketing program I've ever taken in 34 years for $50. And to me, that's like a joke.
I know.
I know it's a lead for you, so that you interest me like in other stuff, but that's okay, because that's what marketing's all about. And I don't have a problem with that, because I'll be learning more stuff I can apply. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. Juliana's like, look, because of Ulan systems as well. So UNS. It's funny because Daniil and Ulan system, he's about the CEO or something like that. He's in a mastermind that I'm in. And I went to an event in Florida, and where we speak up on the stage and tell who we are. And like, as soon as they were done speaking on the stage, like, he bolted to me. And I didn't know who he was. He introduced himself. I'm like, yeah, I know muscle testing. Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with Ulan. And he's like of the same way, where, and I honestly, I said, okay, Daniel, I need to ask you a question. I want you to be very honest with me. Do you believe you can muscle test virtually? I asked him that.
Oh boy, I've been on them about that for years. I've been training with them 20 years, and they don't like that. They say it's not accurate. I do it all the time, but I can't say that it's nutrition response testing, because that's in office only. I just call it virtual testing. I mean, but I do it all the time, and I believe in it. It works. I get results with it.
So, I mean, take it or leave it for whatever you want to believe with muscle testing virtually, but it's still that one-to-one paradigm. It's still I have to muscle test you to get your results,
right,
and personalize everything. Whereas like the supplement industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. People are trying to DIY things. They're trying to figure out their health by themselves. There's not very many people who are interested in one-on-one, which is why I feel webinars fail. Because why the webinars fail, they're trying to get people to sign up for a sales call for the one-on-one treatment plan. And nobody really wants one-on-one treatment plans for $10,000 anymore. Some people do. Yeah, they do. But others are just like I have my 3-year-old, she's almost 4 now. She doesn't speak. She only has like 10 words that she says. And I know a practitioner who specializes in speech. Like, she's got this protocol. And I'm like, quit doing the one-on-ones. Like, you're talking to me. I'm never going to meet with you one-on-one. Ship something to my door, please. And so I'm trying to get her out of that one-on-one as well. Like, there's a lot of us moms out there who have kids that need what you do. But because you're stuck in this funnel one-on-one, I'm not getting the help that I need, and I know you can provide it. Oh, done with the muscle testing. Don't tell those people that, because they're probably, got a target on my back or something. Muscle testing is great. I told you guys, I'm training AK. I've done all the muscle testing too. It's a limited model. And so is chiropractic. That's why my mom's like, are you going to ever adjust? Even my husband, I send him to a different chiropractor, because it's not my specialty. I could adjust him. Yeah. I would rather send him somewhere that somebody's been doing it every day for 10 years and they're good at it. Anyways, that's my spiel. I'm glad you guys are on board. Now let's keep our momentum going with 90 days together and just watch what you can create. And the amount of people you can help, because you created a different model. That's the important part. So when people are like, oh, you're just going after the money. No, I'm helping a lot of people, and the money gets to come with it. I will gladly accept the money that comes with it.
Well, you know what? I tell people all the time, I'd rather see like a person that's alternative, finally make a little bit of money, because most people are in cancer centers and stuff. They're making millions of dollars off them, and the person dies. So, like, really? but that's okay because they're a medical doctor or an oncologist. But if I help people, I can't make money. Come on.
I'm glad you're in my world, Wayne. I'm glad you all are here. Sherry, Aaron, Stephen, Laura, Sylvia. Like, thanks for coming.
John's grinning over there, so he really related to that. He's just smiling and shaking his head.
Laura, Adam, Juanita, Deke, Jamie,
you.
Eugenia, Sabrina, Tracy, Beth. Like, we're all in the same, we're all here to help people. That's why we got into this business, into this world. Now it's like, how can we take our expertise to the masses? And how do we speak to them in a way that they resonate? And it's like, I don't care. Here's my card. Because the other thing I get really irritated with, okay, so I go and have a baby. She's 6 months old now. And I'm getting the bills rolling in. Pisses me off because we tell our patients what it's going to cost up front. They can just send a bill to my house and expect me to pay it. I won't get on that soapbox. But okay, y'all. All right, guys. I'm so glad we hang out together for the last 3 days. I'm going to be honest with you. I was in a funk Monday morning. And literally this program got me out of it. Like after yesterday's call, I texted Nicole. I was like, okay, I got my mojo back. Let's roll. Like, so when you get into the funk and you start doing the things that you love and you're in your zone of genius, that's what pulls you out of it. So Laura, next time you want to sell one-on-one and they say no, it's like, thank you. That's my message saying that I need to do something else. Right? And so for me, when it comes to sales, it's like, how many no's can I get? Because I'm going to get yeses along the way too. But if I search for the no's, then I'm comfortable doing it. So thank you for pulling myself out of my own funk. Because we've been in it for the last 2.5 months and I'm like questioning everything. And it's like, wait a second. No, I know what I'm doing. And this challenge has been so fun. We're probably going to do way more challenges in the future. Because it was a lot of fun to hang out with you guys and see the progress, not only from day 1 to day 2, but now to day 3, where it's like, yeah, someone's telling me to run a webinar or host a one-on-one program, and I just don't want to. And I know there's a better way, and I'm going to go for it. And the reason why I love it is because it's like, now you get to help more people because there are so many people out there, but there's not enough of us. So if we can all go out and be more successful, the more people are getting better, and that's what matters. And yes, it's okay for you to have lots of money in the bank while you're doing it.